Hi, this video is going to explain all about the MathWorks sample, and we'll be collecting these from all Orva students in grades 3 through 8. The due date for the MathWorks sample is December 11th, 2009. You are welcome to send it anytime as long as it does arrive in the Orva office by this date. The work sample must be sent by mail. You can find the address on the Orva website, and also I will have the address at the end of this presentation. Unfortunately, we can't collect anything by K-mail or by email. That does need to be sent by normal, regular mail. With the MathWorks sample, students are expected to demonstrate their ability to solve a problem. They also should be able to show their reasoning process for how they get the correct answer, and also how they can verify that the answer is correct. All the resources for the MathWorks sample can be found on the Big Think, and especially going to the Big Think at Orva K8. And when you're in there, you can click on the community labeled Work Samples. Once you're in the Work Samples community, there's a couple areas to find the documents. The first is in this area called Recent Documents, or you can click on the tab here that's labeled Documents. When you do click on that tab, you come to a section here where it has all of the different grade levels, separate links for each grade level for the MathWorks sample. So if you're in grade 5, you're going to click on that link and download the document for the grade 5 work sample. In that document, you'll find there are 5 separate PDF files, and these are all explains all about the MathWorks sample. So I'm going to go through each one of those and just explain what each means and what you're going to do with these different documents. The first one is called the Student Directions, and this is where you get your directions on what to do for the work sample. It explains that you are able to use manipulatives. You can use a calculator to work on your problems. It does explain all the different areas that we're looking for in order to, it's a little checklist. You can check off all the different sections to make sure that you have all the necessary information for your MathWorks sample. The next document is the actual prompts, and this is the grade 5 sample prompts. And what this is it gives you 5 different prompts that you are able to choose from. So you choose one of these prompts. Once you choose the prompt, you're going to circle that prompt on the paper. So this is something that you will need to print out. So you're going to circle the prompt that you've chosen, turn the paper over, and do all the problem working out on the back of the page. And then that's the one that you're going to be sending into the Orva office. Don't forget also to put your name and your teacher name as well. All right, so this next document, this is an example of a grade 5 work sample. So you can see the student was very clear and showed the process that they went through to get the answer. The work is shown and all the parts are labeled. The answer is clearly identified and is complete. So this is just a really good work sample so you can have an idea of what they're going to be looking for when the people do the scoring of the work samples. Next document is a scoring guide, and this gives you all the information for all the different scores. So it's scored from 1 to 6, and each of these areas you can see what you need to do in each one of these areas in order to score a 6. So you'll have a good idea of what your score is probably going to be. Also, there's another scoring guide, and this is just for the intermediate student as well. So the first one is a general one, and then this next one is just for the intermediate mathematics scoring guide. All right, so to receive the highest score in each of the 5 areas, you will want to be certain that your work shows each of these parts of a successful solution. The first part is the conceptual understanding, or this is the what of the problem. So this one, the first check mark is I showed that I used the important information, changing it into mathematical ideas. The mathematics I used fits with what is requested in the problem. So this shows that you know what's important, what kind of problem they're looking for, and what the actual problem is asking you to do. second section is the processes and strategies, or this is the how. The first checkbox is I used mathematical problem-solving skills or strategies that fit the problem. So you knew if it was addition or subtraction or multiplication, you knew what you needed to do to get the answer. And then I showed all the diagrams, pictures, models, numbers, and or symbols to solve the problem. All right, the verification, this is number 3, and this one is probably the most challenging that a lot of people really struggle with. So the verification is basically defending your answer. So if you have the right answer, you need to be able to explain why you know that that's the correct answer. Sometimes that means that you have to work the problem in a second way to defend your first solution. Also, the other checkbox is my review of the concepts, processes, and calculations I used to get my solution is clearly identified. All right, number 4 is the communication, or it's the connecting path. This is the path leading to my complete solution is shown with no gaps for the reader to fill in. So you're showing your entire path from reading the question to getting the answer. And also my work fits all the parts, the concepts, strategies, and verification together by using pictures, charts, diagrams, and or words. And the final one is accuracy, and this is where your final answer is complete, justifiable, and clearly identified, and my answer matches what the problem is asking. All right, so there are some frequently asked questions, and I'm going to answer a few of those in case that is something that you are wondering about. The first one is, what if my child is working below grade level and the prompt choices are too hard? For some of our students who may be in the 5th grade but maybe working at a 4th grade level for math, you may choose a prompt from a lower grade level. So if you look at the 5th grade prompts and they just look way too hard and your child cannot do it, then feel free to choose one of the ones from the 4th grade level. So this is definitely fine. You are welcome to use a calculator, but remember that we are just as interested to see your thought process as how you got the answer and how you know the answer is correct, as we are to see that you have the correct answer. Next question is, can I help my child with this work sample? Please do not help with the answer, but you are welcome to encourage your child to be sure to address the 5 areas that are tested on. It'd be a great idea to print the scoring guide or the student directions for your child to refer to, and they can check off on all the boxes in those student directions. This is very similar to the OAKS testing, where this is really seeing where your child is at math, and this is on their own. Next question is, when will I find out the results? What we do is we have state-certified people who score the math work samples. There can be a few weeks wait time before we find out the results, because we do have to send them off, then we have to wait for them to score them, then they send them back to us, and then we find out what the scores are. So as soon as we do find out the scores, we will pass those on to you. All right, thank you for coming. I did put the address for the ORVA office here on this last page. So it is 1810 Monroe Street, North Bend, Oregon 97459. If you do have any questions, there is an area for discussions in the Big Think. So feel free to add to the discussions to ask any questions, to maybe talk about things. Use those discussion boards. That's a great idea to use. Also, please ask your teachers if you need any help or you need any assistance in that way. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day.